Good afternoon, and how is everybody this miserable Saturday? Um, yeah, it's the only good thing about it is I don't feel quite so guilty about sitting in at my laptop. So I thought I would just jump on and do a little bit of breath work because I think it still really drives me crazy that some people still don't know about the power of the breath. And I think it's such a shame because it really is our duty, um, to share this information with people. So I thought I'll just come on and do a little bit of breath work and, just hoping that some people that have maybe been having a hard time, I think even, regardless of whether you're happy as a pig in shit just now or stressed as a pig in shit, it's just so important to really understand the power of the breath. And once we really start to feel that we're not the victim of our emotions, then it can literally change everything. And the main thing is obviously we can help others to do the same, because this is what the whole Heal Scotland movement is about. It's about the fact that there's loads of information that we have that can really help us, really help the body. It's quite simply not mainstream, and it's not available when you go to your GP, which is really the kind of main place that people go if they need support. So we plan to change that, and very simply, breath work is free. It is 100% almost instant. It is so simple to do, and I cannot believe, I was nearly 60 before anybody taught me. So my mission is to make sure that nobody else has to wait that long. So just get yourself nice and comfy. We're not going to be doing anything too dramatic, no sook blow. Well, maybe a little bit. But you just want to get somewhere where if you do start to feel a little bit lightheaded, which is totally fine, it's just energy moving. And if you start to breathe in a way you've never breathed before in a controlled hyperventilation, things can start to happen. You can get cold, you can get hot, you can get dizzy, you can get tingly. All of that's great. It's chemistry changing. So we'll just start off. Now, the rule of thumb is if you want to calm down, breathe out longer than you were breathing in. So a simple 5-7, 5-10. So let's just start with that. And if you wanted to gain more energy, say you had an after lunch or an after dinner slump, breathe in longer than you're breathing out. So it would be the opposite way around. But we're all about the calm just now. We're all about going into 2025 in the most expanded, calm way possible. So one of the things that I always get people to do is just take your fingers underneath your rib cage like this, and just gently press along the rib cage and down along your hip bones. And really what you're doing is you're releasing all the muscles, because what can happen is this area here holds a lot of the tension. We've got what we call corset muscles, which literally are like a corset around the body to keep our internal organs in. And if we're in a constant state of stress, even when we breathe, we're not getting the full expansion of the belly. So what we want to do is breathe in through the nose. See your belly coming all the way up, breathing right down into the belly button and below there, even to the sacral chakra. That's what you want to be imagining, so that you really fill that area in. So we're going to breathe in for 5 and out for 7 to start. So and out. And in. And out. And in. And out. and in and out. One more, in and out. Okay. You can probably start to feel yourself just calming right down. So that's a really simple one that you can do if the kids are driving you insane, if your parents are driving you insane, if your partner's driving you insane. You don't need to do it as loud as that. You can do it really without people knowing and just understanding, right, I'm taking myself out of fight or flight into rest, restore, and repair. Because obviously, when we're in that stress state, we're pumping all the stress hormones into the bloodstream. We're displacing the blood. The blood actually moves into the extremities so that we can run, fight, hide, freeze, or fawn, which are the things that we do when we get into that state of fear. And what, of course, is happening now is so much of our lives is all driven by fear. That's how they get us to do stuff. Terrify us. Take this or you're going to die. Do this or you're going to die. It's nuts. So not just that, the other major thing that causes fear and anxiety in the body, of course, is the microbiome and low-grade infections, candida, fungus, and literally the inflammation in the digestive system, because the body's like that. We've got a problem, we've got a problem, we've got a problem. And we just automatically feel the stress and we look out at our life and we think it must be because of that, when in actual fact it's all coming from the digestive system. I'm not going to go on about that today, but I am going to be doing quite a few lives on that from Skye and running a retreat on that. So these infections, low-grade infections that most of us have got, fungus, etc., dysbiosis in the gut, this constant inflammation that you simply cannot breathe away. You have to use other protocols. But breathing can definitely help. And what we're doing is we're breaking the habit of staying in fight or flight. And the more that you can do these simple breath works, 5-7, we'll do the 4-7-8 as well, then the more you're training the body, just like a little puppy, like sit. You're going to calm down, calm down, calm down. So you are overriding the programming, the past, the microbiome, and you're deliberately putting the body into a state of ease. We all love that, don't we? So let's do the 4-7-8. So remember when you used to do that to make that noise that I can't make now anymore? We're going to put our hands like that. We're going to use that to breathe in, to put some resistance into the in-breath. So in for 4, hold for 7, and out for 8. Remember, with the tongue on the gum above the front teeth. Okay, and in, hold, and out. And in, hold, and out. And in, hold, and out. Again, one more, in, hold, and out. Okay, now I always purse my lips on the out breath because it allows me to control it. Because there's nothing worse than you breathe all the way out and then you're like, ah, a few counts at the end that you're meant to be breathing out, but you want to be breathing back in. So pursing the lips really helps you to control it. So a nice, even letting down of the balloon. Okay, so you've got the 5-7, you've got the 4-7-8. So now we're going to do 5-10. Now, if you're not used to doing conscious connected breathing, so many of us now have strong autoimmune and mitochondrial and microbiome dysfunction. And we've been used to breathing up here, and that keeps you in fight or flight. And if you're a mouth breather through the night, that will put you into fight or flight as well. I'm not always, but it absolutely can. So when you wake up anxious, that's why it's so important to nose breathe all the time, unless you're deliberately doing it to change your chemistry. So that kind of shallow breath work, mouth breathing, will keep you in the fight or flight state. So that's why it's so important. The other thing about nose breathing is it burns a lot more calories, far higher metabolic rate. It uses a lot more energy, and you get far more of the good stuff. We know with, the nitric oxide, the oxygen levels, the CO2, we're always trying to balance them out so that we can trick the brain into giving us the good stress hormones, and so that we can expand ourselves into that beautiful place of peace and bliss. And, if you know somebody who's suffering from anxiety, some people won't listen, let's face it. Some people are like, well, I need to read about it. Really? Why don't you just try it? But we're all different, and that's great. But if you know somebody that's suffering from a lot of anxiety, panic attacks, and it is a crazy time, Christmas and New Year can be really challenging, please tell them about breathing. It's free, it's easy, and you can just practice it. If you're on holiday right now, you've probably got a bit of time to actually spend on yourself. Maybe you've been indulging too much and are going to indulge too much, and wait until the new year. But please spread the word about the power of the breath. So this time we're going to breathe in for 5 and out for 10. So this could be a wee bit trickier if you've got a lot of anxiety and you're not used to long breaths and really controlling it. So don't worry if you can't do the full 10. Do what you can. Just practice, okay? So breathing in and out. And in the belly and out. And in and out. Okay, in and out. One more, in and out. Okay. And just check in and see how you feel. Again, you might get some tingling, just simple. You can just do this for 1 or 2 minutes and completely change how you're feeling. And very often, as long as you can just calm yourself a little bit, you're going to feel better, you're going to make better decisions, and you're not going to snap at people or kick them. So, yeah, so just get really, the body talks to us in feelings, pictures, it's not words. So when the body's got an emotion coming through, it's information for us to pay attention to. And it could be that the digestive system needs help. It could be that it's your intuition saying, watch out here, this got you in trouble before. It could be it's lighting you up every time I think about going to Skye. I'm just like, yes. It could be it's telling you this is a great idea, you are on the right path. So it's just really getting to understand the language. But more importantly, when it comes to our relationships, which really, come into the fore at the festive season, it allows us not to be the victim and not to keep repeating the old patterns and triggers and fallouts. So let's do a little bit of the suk blow. If you've never done any full dynamic breath work with me, it's not the same one. We're just going to do a nice wee gentle one. But again, it's a great one for getting the blood pressure down if you're having blood pressure issues. So it just means you do a double sniff on the way in. So it'd be Now again, you're still really focusing on the belly coming up. So and just let it go with an ah. 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 Okay. So again, that's just do it for a few minutes. Always say to people that, because people are busy. We're all busy. We're like, oh, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. But if you can say, right, okay, could I dedicate 1 minute a day to a conscious breath work? 2 minutes, 3, 4, 5, even if when you go to your bed or when you first wake up, if you're not getting dragged out of bed by kids or grandkids. Just start with the amount of time that you can do. And the more you do it, the bigger benefit you'll feel and the more you'll find that you've got time to do it. It can give you just a phenomenal feeling of bliss if you just put your focus and attention at it. And the more you do it, the better you get. You're taking back control over your body. So instead of being a victim of the anxiety, etc., victim of the thoughts and the feelings, you're like that, I can change this. And then your only task is to remember. Okay, so we're going to do that one again. We're just going to do it slightly quicker. So it just goes like this. Suk, suk, blow, it's called. Four more. One. Then breathe all the way in and hold it. And then let it go. And hold it again. Stop breathing. Feel. In 3, 2, 1, breathe all the way in. And squeeze. Focus the energy in here in the pineal gland and squeeze that energy. Pelvic floor, abdominals tight. Squeeze it into your beautiful brain. And let it go. Let it go. So you can probably feel a little bit different, maybe a little bit tingly. Let me know how you're feeling if you're there on the live. And just relax. Now we're in this space and we're in this state we can see things clearer. We're less perturbable. And now the trick is to stay in this state of ease, the cellular expansion. And it takes practice. But this is where we're going, where we take full responsibility for our reactions. We stop blaming, we stop shaming and complaining, and we take full responsibility for our, hi Laura, our reaction to others. And the more we can have a practice, a daily practice, if you know you're going to be in a place over the new year where somebody's likely to annoy you, do some breath work first. Even either of these little exercises will take you there, or remove yourself if you feel yourself getting triggered and just do a little exercise. It's fun. It's really fun to get control over your emotions and to start to be able to, because it's so integral to your immune system. If you keep stressing all day long, all year long, all decade long, the immune system just becomes more and more tired, and it can't fight for you and it can't heal the same way for you. So getting our emotions under control and staying in that state of expansion as much as we can, that is the state where the body will heal itself without any help from us. In January, we are going into the intermittent fasting. So it's up to you when you join. I mean, obviously a lot of people will be celebrating, but maybe, you'll be get at that stage, right, we're ready to rein it in again, get back in control of the protocols, make better decisions for your health and your well-being and whatever. So January is intermittent fasting. So we'll be talking about that, choosing your fasting window. So for example, have your breakfast at 10, have your last meal at 6. That's the 16-8, which is a really great place to start. It's very doable. Choose something that you think you're going to be able to do. And of course, I'm going to be in Skye from the 3rd of January. The Wild Energy Medicine Retreat is full. We're over the moon. We're absolutely stoked. I think we've got one place left sharing. So it's just absolutely fantastic. So look up the Heal In. There's lots of live stuff. It's either cheap as chips or free that's coming out to you. Webinars, free live streams. We want to get this information out to as many people as possible that are willing and open to start and take some of their power back. Hello, James. How you doing? Yes. Great to see you. Have a wonderful 2025. Think about coming up and seeing us in Skye. And if you can help me by spreading the word, I don't need to actually sit down like this anymore. If you can help me by spreading the word about the Heal In and the phenomenal programme that we've got. Thank you, Laura. Yeah, it's so simple to do, isn't it? Just change how you feel, but it's just that being reminded. So please help me by sharing about the Heal In and have a wonderful day. I'll chat to you all really soon. Ciao.